Let me quickly introduce my biology seminar host, Mr. Bush, to give us the seminar about VCE biology. Mr. Bush is the head of secondary science and experienced VCE biology teacher. With 7 years of dedicated teaching experience, Mr. Bashar has been instrumental in shaping the academic success of his students through his passion for biology and commitment to science education. As a leader of the secondary science department, Mr. Bashar brings a wealth of knowledge and leadership that elevates both students and staff. His dynamic approach to teaching VCE biology has made him a respected educator, known for engaging students and fostering a deep understanding of the subject. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Bashar, who will be sharing his insight and expertise with us today. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can you guys hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Just want a thumbs up reaction from everyone else as well, some of the students. I can't see their faces. Yep, Kesh, I've got it. Yep, Lachlan, Alvin, Elena. Yep, it's looking good. Yep, Aaron, everyone else. That's good. That's good you guys can hear me. My name is Mr. Bashir, and I am currently VCE biology teacher. And I'm also, I've studied here. I've completed all my VCE studies here in Australia, particularly in Victoria. I've studied science, health science, and then I've also done masters in teaching. I'm also a private tutor, so I do one-on-one tutoring for biology and general science. I'm very passionate about biology, but before I begin, is there anyone here who is interested, who is certain that they're going to do biology in VCE? They're like, I'm going to do biology. That's my goal. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're adamant on doing? Yep, Josh. Yep, Lachlan. Anyone else that is certain? It's okay if you're not certain because once you pick biology, then you'll get a good gist of it. All right. So I'm going to just jump straight into it. I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully, the students that are doing it, they will be more encouraged to do it. And those that are not, hopefully, this gives you a clear view on why you should do biology and what are some areas that it can lead to. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And if you have any questions, if you're shy to ask, you can leave a message and I will try to respond at the end. At the end, I will have time for asking questions. So I've already done my introduction. These are some fun facts about biology. Your body is made up of roughly 37 to 40 trillion cells. Bananas, they share 60% of their DNA with humans. So we're more like bananas. If someone calls you a banana, yeah, we're kind of related to them. Uh, then octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. You get new stomach lining every 3 days. So the lining sheds. Plants actually talk to each other by releasing chemicals. So whenever there is a threat, that one plant receives sending messages to different plants to react. And we're going to learn about immune system in VCE biology. You shed about 40,000 skin cells every minute. So if you rub your face, you've shed about probably thousands of cells. And your brain can store more information than all the computers in the world. So these are some of the fun facts about biology, just the surface of it. So it's quite interesting field to jump in. Biology is the study of life. And let's begin how VCE biology looks like. So if some of you put your hand up for completing biology. So these are some of the areas of interest. If you're interested in understanding how the body works, how biological system works in plants, animals, it's very interesting. Wait, why is it not next thing? Yep. If you're interested in conducting experiments that's to do with, that could be dissections, that could be with bacteria, trying to learn new things about life and how to improve things. If you guys search up a scientist called Alexander Fleming, he actually discovered antibiotics by accident. So we're going to look into people like that. If you're interested in career paths, like if you want to be a scientist, if you want to work in the lab, technician, if you're interested in becoming a doctor, medicine, especially the biomedical research, if you want to be a therapist, physiotherapist, and any other types of therapists, biology is a huge advantage if you do it. If you're interested in the horticultural industry or the veterinary science, or if you're nursing, biology is a perfect subject for you. So these are some related pathways that it can lead to. So medical scientists, environment, health, farming, therapist, and all these other. I will share these slides with Olivia, and she can email it to you if you want. So these are some of the university courses entry prerequisites. So this is for RMIT, for example. If you're doing biomedical science, it is a prerequisite to do biology. And if you're doing science in RMIT, that is also a prerequisite that you need to do biology. For La Trobe University and many other Monash University in Melbourne, for paramedics, biology is a requirement. For physiotherapy, it's a requirement. Um, and for podiatry, prosthetics, speech pathology, they all are requirement to do biology in year 12. So what prerequisite means that you have to do that to get into the course that you want. I'm just going to quickly explain how the structure works, what you will be learning in Unit 1 and Unit 2, and also Unit 3 and 4 biology. So the way Unit 1 works is Unit 1 biology is not going to impact your final ATAR score. So Unit 1 and 2, if you do well in it, it's an advantage for you because it sets a foundation for you for Unit 3 and 4. So students that do Unit 3 and 4 without doing 1 and 2, usually they struggle because they have to refresh their knowledge about Unit 1 and 2 basics. So in Unit 1, you learn about cells. So what are we made up of? How do cells work? What are the different components of cells? Um, and in area of study 2, how do plants and animal system functions? And area of study 3, how do scientists investigate and understand how organisms regulate their functions? So for every area of study, there will be a SAC. So it's a SAC it's an assessment that will contribute to your final score. Like I said, for Unit 1 and 2, these SACs are not contributing to your 3 and 4 subject. And then in biology Unit 2, area of study 1, you learn about inheritance. So how does our parents' genes impact us? How do plants' offspring impact them? And then in area of study 2, how do adaptation works? So how does a killer whale able to withstand those freezing cold temperatures in the middle of freezing icy cold water? And then in area of study 3, we learn about, and also how does a cactus survive in a desert? So for area of study 2. And then area of study 3 is how do humans use science to explore and communicate contemporary bioethical issues? So here you learn about things that are morally right or wrong. Okay, so for example, you might come up with a vaccine, or you might come up with a treatment that can cure a disease. Okay, some people will say that, oh, that's good that you're curing a disease, but other people might say, no, we don't know what impact it will have on the offspring or later on generation. So there is the ethical dilemma, and on that you're going to be searching why you should do what outweighs what in order to do those research. Or for example, in places like that are poverty stricken, if they are growing certain vegetables and they cannot withstand drought, how you can insert a new gene into that to make it drought resistant. And by doing that, are you doing good for the people because they get to get more food, so poverty-stricken people, or are you doing bad to them because later on it might impact them later on? Okay, so I'm just going to ask a quick question. Do you think it is okay to modify vegetables that will help people in poverty-stricken areas? So for example, if a wheat is going to make 6 seeds normally, but you genetically modify it to make 20 seeds, do you think in a poverty-stricken area, it is a good thing? Put your thumbs up if you think it's a good thing. Let's see if I can get any reactions. I'm not getting any reactions. Is everyone, are people following? Yep. Someone just said when they think it's a good thing. Anyone else that think it's okay to modify genes? Yep. Kesh thinks it's a good thing. Anyone else? Okay. Aaron thinks it's a good thing. Who thinks it's not a good thing? because it might impact later generations. Because in Russia, you're not allowed to have genetically modified organisms. No? So these are the kind of things that you're going to be learning about in Unit 3. And for Biology Unit 3, altogether, you're going to have 5 SACs. So for Unit 3, Area of Study 1, what is the role of DNA, nucleic acid, in maintaining life? So here we learn about CRISPR technology. So CRISPR is a technology where you modify genes. So for example, if someone's got a problem with their genes, you can edit that. We're going to learn about how it works. We're going to learn about your DNA and how it works. We're going to learn about how your nucleus orders other compartment in the cell to do a certain job, like making proteins. In area of study 2, we're going to learn about biochemical pathways, so like photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Um, who who knows what mitochondria is? Can you give me a thumbs up if you know what mitochondria is? Mitochondria. Yep. Kesh. Yep. Krithik. Jash. I'm seeing some names. Yep. Anyone else know what mitochondria is? Lachlan. Okay. Who can tell me? Who can tell me what mitochondria is? Dr. Oz knows what it is. Yep. Okay. All right. So we're going to be jumping deeper into what mitochondria is, how your body makes energy. From grade 5 all the way to 12, we've learned that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But how does it actually work? It is very interesting, and we're going to do that in area of study 2. There is a massive sack on that. And then in biology unit 4, we learn about how organism responds to pathogens. So how does your immune system work? In area of study 2, we learn about how a species related. How are we related to bananas? How are we related to monkeys? How are we related to different species, and how we share common ancestor? In area of study 3, we're going to be doing a scientific inquiry to investigate cellular process or biological change. So it's a research task that we're going to be looking at bioethical issues, or we're going to be doing a massive experiment and we're doing a report on that. I think Dr. Oz earlier mentioned you're going to be doing a detailed study of how to write a scientific report using APA 7 style or Harvard, etc. So unit 1 and 2 biology, it's SACs, it's called school assessed coursework. These SACs do not affect your final ATA score for unit 1 and 2, but unit 3 and 4 study assess coursework that contributes to your final score, and you must do well in it in order to get good ATA or good score for VCE biology. And you altogether, you're going to have 5 SACs. And you also have external VCA examination. So that VCA examination and your SACs combined together, and you'll get a final score. Um, so these are some of the, let's see if it's not. So if you want to do well in this subject, you must be familiar with the study design. So you must be able to define key knowledge and key skills for each outcomes. You must have good visual study notes, and you must be organized from the start. So you must be working professionally in the science lab, learn a wide range of biological related vocabulary and key understanding of the topic. That's why we here, we jump in, we try to help you organize your visuals, we help you organize plan. We're going to give you a lot of exam style questions so that you're way ahead of the class and you will have a key understanding. Usually with all my other students at Top Scope, they have quite a head start compared to everyone else in the class. So when they go to school, they already know what they covered. They're doing basically revision, and that's my goal. And yeah. And that's basically that was the biology in a nutshell. If any one of you have any questions, you can ask me. I think Dr. Oz already mentioned some of those questions earlier, but if you have any other questions, you can ask, and I'm here to answer them. Can you put your thumbs up if that kind of made sense? Yep. Good, Krithik. Kesh. Yep. Aaron. Alvin. Well done, Lachlan. All right. Any questions, anyone? Does anyone have any questions about biology and if they are interested in doing it? Okay. So at Topscope, usually I have one-on-one classes with students so they can get um, uh, extra support. And if students increase, probably Olivia can organize group sessions as well. So if you don't have any questions, that's basically it. If you do have any questions, please, uh, uh, I'll share my email with Olivia and she will share it with you. I'm more than happy to respond to any questions that you have. That's basically it from my end, Olivia. I don't see any questions, but
Thank
if
you very
you get it,
much.
yeah,
Thank you very
yeah,
much, Mr. Bashir. And our students possibly, they are still deciding, or maybe they will be more interested into biology and chemistry field in the future. And some students are currently year eight or year nine students. They got more passion into this field, but I think you give them very good detailed explanation to see that if they are going to select biology in the future, what they are looking for and what kind of specific area they are going to dive in or digest more in this field. Excellent. So for the SAG, can I maybe ask one question? For the final year levels, year 12, they are going to have five SAGs, isn't it?
yes,
To count
yes.
into the final scores. Is it detailed studies will be included in one of the SAC or is on top of five SACs?
No, altogether there would be five SACs. So there's five area of studies. They're different topics. So
Yeah.
for example, DNA, photosynthesis, cellular respiration, immune system, evolution, and then there's a research task. So for every area of the five studies, there will be a SAC. That could be a written SAC, that could be a project, but usually they are written SACs, and that will contribute to your final score of VCE. So they combine that score and your VCE final exam score, and you get the final score for that.
I got you. So the five topics related with five different fields, but the format of testing will be dependent on each of the individual school.
Yeah, it's usually dependent, but they have to still follow the Victorian Curriculum Authority. So their plan, we have to
Mm.
follow them because they give us the guidelines.
Yeah.
The school marks the SACs, but then the exam is marked by external authority. But you will not be treated unfairly because in the SACs, usually, if the teachers are lenient on you and they give you easy marks, and you don't do as well in the exam, your SAC marks are potentially going to drop as well. However, if the teachers are lenient, they give you easy marks, and in the exam you don't do well, your SAC marks are going to go up. Your SAC marks are going to go up in the exam. Vice versa. So if your teacher's being very harsh, they give you unfair marks, and in the exam you do really well, your SAC marks are likely to jump as well.
All right. So the final marks actually can make some change for the previous five SACs.
Correct. There is.
Yeah.
It's to do with ranking, but we will explain that as we go. At the moment, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. It sounds pretty tricky, isn't it?
Yes, it's good to get used to it. So the students that are listening to this podcast right now, that it's a good exposure for them because it will be in their mind now that oh, I got
Mm.
to look out for this, I got to look out for this. But one-on-one support usually helps a lot. I have students, I think I have over 12 students at the moment, and every student is very grateful that they have a head start. When they have this tutoring, students that start year 12, especially three and four, without exposure to one and two, usually they struggle quite a lot in the SACs because they have to refresh the previous knowledge. So it's very important to have guide from the start or to be switched on yourself to study the VCA, study design, so you know what you expect. But
Mm.
tutoring definitely makes life easier.
Yeah.
And and working at school, I see students that are doing tutoring. Usually they have it a lot easier compared to students that are not.
Yeah, they perform much better, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think exposure is one side, but as well as just as Dr. Oz mentioned about the feedback can change the huge difference.
100%. There are students that are extremely knowledgeable in the field. They can explain any topic, but when it comes to applying their knowledge in the exam conditions, that is very important for students to get used to. And for that, you require consistent practice all the way till the end.
Yeah, especially for biology field that knowledge-wise seems students or some quite intelligent students or hardworking students, they will memorize by themselves. But how to apply the knowledge to responding to the questions is always struggling, isn't it?
Definitely. That's usually a big factor and it requires practice. So that's why we give a lot of exam style questions from day one We go through theory, we go through exam style questions. Then for every topic, for every area study, I give SACs. So
Mm,
they do an actual SAC, and then so that they already when they go to school, they've already done everything. So it's just extra revision for them at school.
excellent. I think that's very well prepared for every individual students be ready
Yeah,
for the examination or real examination for the final.
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to having some of these students that are doing biology,
Yeah, I
and
could tell
it'll
that
be
most of them pretty intelligent and smart students from here.
yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure
Engaging
they are.
fun.
I'm sure they
Yeah,
are.
that's
Yeah.
right. Do we have any questions you want to clarify with Mr. Bashar or in any VCE biology field? Or maybe which other VCE subjects you are teaching as well? Is it human?
Health and human development.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I will also tutor health and human development, but at the moment I'm teaching biology
Mm,
and mainly biology at school because I teach 1 and 2 biology, 3 and 4 biology, and I also teach general science.
yeah,
I'm not involved in health as much, but yeah, I'm happy to teach that as well.
excellent. All right. If we don't have too many questions, we're going to say goodbye to everyone. But thank you very much for Mr. Bashar and Dr. Oz, all of your time for Sunday, and we're very happy to, learn and explore those new knowledge and new curriculum with very professional to VCE teachers together.
Thank you so much, Olivia.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
everyone. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you sometime soon, hopefully.